Emily sat quietly in her wheelchair near a large glass window at the busy mall. Outside, the sun was shining bright, and people were walking in and out of shops. Children laughed as they played nearby. Couples held hands and friends chatted happily, but Emily felt very alone. Her eyes looked down at the floor, and her face was calm but sad. Only a year ago, Emily's life was very different. She was a lively girl who loved to run and play outside with her friends. She enjoyed going to school and dreamed of traveling the world one day, but a terrible accident had changed everything. One rainy night, she slipped and fell badly. Doctors said her spine was hurt and she could not walk anymore. She had to learn how to live her life sitting in a wheelchair. Emily's father was a very rich man. He owned many companies and lived in a big, beautiful house. People called him a billionaire because he had so much money. He loved his daughter very much. He gave her the best doctors, the best care, and everything she needed. But even all the money in the world could not bring back the life Emily had lost. It could not make her feel happy again. After the accident, Emily spent many months at home. She had to get used to her new life. She felt trapped inside her own body. She missed walking in the park, feeling the wind on her face and the simple joy of being free. She stopped going to school and stopped seeing her friends. Slowly, she became quiet and kept to herself. The large house felt empty and cold without her laughter. One day, Emily's father thought it might be good for her to get out of the house. He arranged for a wheelchair-accessible van to take her to the nearby mall. The mall was a lively place full of stores, food, and people. He hoped it would help Emily feel better, see new things, and maybe meet someone new. But at the mall, Emily felt out of place. People rushed past her without noticing. Some looked away quickly, uncomfortable to see a girl in a wheelchair. Others stared, making her feel like she was a strange object instead of a person. She sat near the window, watching the busy world around her, but feeling separate from it. Emily's mind wandered. She thought about her old life, her friends, and how things used to be simple and happy. She wished she could go back to those days. Tears came to her eyes, but she wiped them away. She didn't want anyone to see her cry. Far away from Emily's quiet spot, Tom was finishing his work. Tom was a janitor at the mall. He was not rich, and life was not easy for him. Tom was a single dad. His little son Michael was only 6 years old. Tom worked long hours cleaning the floors, emptying trash cans, and making sure the mall was safe and clean for visitors. Tom loved his son more than anything. He wanted Michael to have a better life than he did. Sometimes Tom felt tired and worried about how he would pay bills or buy food, but he never gave up. He believed that hard work and kindness could make things better that day. As Tom passed by Emily, he noticed something different. Most people ignored her, but Tom's eyes saw the sadness in her face. He stopped for a moment and looked closer. He wondered why such a young girl was sitting there all alone in a busy place. It did not feel right to him. Tom remembered how he felt when he was lonely or scared. He thought about Michael and how much comfort a kind word could bring. Without thinking much, Tom decided to say hello. He walked slowly toward Emily and smiled gently. "Hello," he said softly. "Why are you sitting here all alone?" Emily looked up surprised. No one had asked her that question kindly for a long time. She saw a warm face in front of her, and it made her feel a little better. She took a deep breath and said quietly, "I am waiting for my father, but I feel lonely here. It is hard to be here by myself." Tom nodded. "I understand," he said. "Sometimes places full of people can still feel lonely." They both sat quietly for a moment. Tom did not want to rush or make Emily uncomfortable. He just wanted her to know someone cared. Emily felt a small spark inside her heart. Maybe this stranger was someone she could trust. She looked at Tom and said, "My name is Emily. I used to run and play, but now I can't. I am in this wheelchair because of an accident. My life changed a lot." Tom listened carefully. "That sounds very hard, Emily. I am sorry you had to go through that. I have problems too, but maybe we can help each other." Emily smiled for the first time that day. Tom's words felt like a small light in the dark. She was tired of feeling invisible and forgotten. Tom told her about his son Michael and how he worked every day to make sure Michael had a happy life. Emily shared how she missed playing outside and being free. They talked about their dreams and fears. The mall noises faded a little as they connected. Emily did not feel so alone anymore. Tom did not feel so tired or worried. Sometimes just talking to someone who listens makes a big difference. Before Tom had to go back to work, he said, "If you want, you can find me here again. Maybe we can meet and talk some more." Emily nodded. "I would like that." Walked away, Emily looked around the mall again. It was still busy, but now it felt less cold. She felt hope. She knew that even in a big, busy place, kindness could be found in the smallest moments. That afternoon, a simple question changed lives. Emily and Tom were strangers before, but now they had started a new friendship. The mall was no longer just a place of loneliness for Emily. It was the place. After that first meeting at the mall, Emily thought about Tom's kindness many times. She could not believe how a simple question had made her feel less lonely. The next day, she returned to the mall, hoping to see him again. Her heart felt a little lighter. Maybe today would be different. Tom was busy working. He was sweeping the floors near the food court, his son Michael playing quietly nearby. When Tom saw Emily enter, his face lit up. He waved and she smiled back. It was the start of something new, a friendship that neither of them expected, but both needed. Tom walked over and sat beside Emily. "How are you feeling today?" he asked gently. Emily looked around, the mall still busy and noisy, but now less frightening. "A little better," she said. "Thank you for asking." Tom nodded. Sometimes a kind word is the first step to feeling better. "I want to hear your story if you want to share." Emily took a deep breath and began to tell Tom more about her life. She told him about the accident that changed everything. It had been a rainy night when she fell. She had been playing outside, excited to see her friends at school the next day. But she slipped on the wet ground and hurt her back badly. The hospital was scary. Doctors told her and her family that she might never walk again. Emily felt scared and angry. She could not understand why this had happened to her. For weeks, she stayed in bed, feeling hopeless. Her father was very sad too. He tried to make everything better with money and care, but Emily felt like no one could understand her pain. She stopped talking to her friends. She stopped dreaming. Tom listened carefully. He could see the sadness in Emily's eyes, but also a spark of hope. He told her about his own struggles. Being a single father was not easy. Sometimes Tom worried he could not give Michael everything he needed, but he loved his son more than anything. He worked hard every day, even when he was tired. "I want Michael to grow up knowing kindness is important," Tom said, "and that even when life is hard, we can find moments of joy." Emily smiled. "You are very strong, Tom. I wish I could be like you." Tom laughed softly. "You are stronger than you think. You have already been through so much." They talked for hours. Emily told Tom about the small things she missed, the feeling of grass under her feet, the sound of birds singing, the warmth of sunshine on her skin. Tom shared stories about Michael's first steps, his favorite toys, and how much joy children bring. Their conversations became the highlight of both their days. Emily began to look forward to meeting Tom at the mall. For the first time in months, she felt like she belonged somewhere. One afternoon, Tom brought Michael with him. The little boy ran up to Emily, his face full of smiles. "Hi, Emily," he said happily. "Do you want to play?" Emily's heart warmed. She had not felt this happy in a long time. "Yes, I would love to," she said. Michael showed her a small toy car he had brought. They laughed as they imagined the car racing around the mall floor. Tom watched them and felt his heart swell with happiness. He could see how much this friendship meant to Emily. Slowly, Emily's father noticed a change in his daughter. She was smiling more. She was talking about the mall visits and her new friends. He realized that money alone could not heal his daughter's pain. She needed connection, love, and time. One day he approached Tom. "Thank you for being kind to Emily," he said quietly. "She needed someone like you." Tom felt surprised. "I'm just a janitor," he said. "I'm glad I could help." "No," Emily's father said firmly. "Oh. You have given her something no money could buy, friendship and hope." From that day, Emily's father began to see Tom and Michael as part of their family, not just workers at the mall. He invited them over for dinners and special occasions. Emily felt loved and cared for in ways she never had before. Tom also learned from Emily's father. He saw how important it was to have people who cared and supported each other. Life was easier when shared with friends and family. Emily's world grew bigger. She started attending events and volunteering to help others who faced difficulties. With Tom and Michael by her side, she felt stronger and more confident. The mall, once a place of loneliness, became a place of laughter, friendship, and new beginnings. Emily and Tom taught everyone around them the power of kindness and connection. Their story showed that no matter who you are or what you have, a simple question and a caring heart can change everything. Emily and Tom's friendship grew stronger with each visit to the mall. What started as a simple conversation had become something very special. They were no longer just two strangers. They were friends who shared their lives and helped each other in many ways. Tom showed Emily the small joys of everyday life. He taught her how to see beauty, even in simple things, like the sound of birds outside the mall, the smell of fresh bread from a bakery, or the soft touch of a warm blanket. Emily began to notice these small wonders again, something she had forgotten after her accident. Michael, Tom's young son, loved spending time with Emily. He was curious and full of energy. Sometimes he would bring colorful drawings to show her. Other times, he would tell funny stories about school or his adventures in the park. Emily loved seeing the world through Michael's eyes. His laughter was like music that filled the quiet spaces in her heart. Emily's father watched this, knew friendship closely. At first, he was unsure how a janitor and his son could have such a strong bond with his daughter, but he saw the change in Emily's face. She was happier, more hopeful, and eager to live her life again. That was more valuable than anything money could buy. One afternoon, Emily's father invited Tom and Michael to their home. It was a big house with many rooms and beautiful gardens. Emily was excited but also nervous. She worried about what her father would think about Tom and Michael. Being in their home, Tom felt nervous too. He was not used to such luxury. But he remembered the kindness he had shown Emily and knew that this was important. Michael held his hand tightly as they entered the house. Emily's father greeted them warmly. "Welcome," he said. "Want to thank you, Tom. You have given Emily something very precious." Tom smiled humbly. "I'm happy to help," he said. The visit was special. Emily showed them her favorite room, her collection of books, and the garden where she liked to sit and watch the birds. Tom and Michael felt like part of the family. After that day, Emily's father started to change. He realized that love and friendship were the real treasures in life. He began spending more time with Emily, not just as her father, but as a friend. Tom helped Emily find new ways to enjoy her life. He encouraged her to try new activities that did not need walking, like painting, reading, and even learning music. Emily discovered talents she never knew she had. One day, Tom brought a small keyboard for Emily to try. She was hesitant at first, but soon she was playing simple songs. Michael clapped with joy. Emily felt proud of herself for the first time. In a long while, Emily's father noticed how much she was growing. He arranged for special teachers and support so she could continue learning. Money could help with these things. But it was Emily's own spirit and the support of friends like Tom that made the real difference. Together, Emily, Tom, and Michael began visiting local centers that help people with disabilities. Emily wanted to share her story and inspire others. She spoke about hope, courage, and the power of friendship. Tom helped organize activities for children like Michael and Emily. He wanted everyone to feel included and loved. The community began to see the strength of this unusual family. A billionaire's daughter, a janitor, and a little boy, united by kindness and love. Emily's life was no longer defined by what she had lost. It was filled with new dreams and purpose. She smiled more, laughed more, and felt alive again. Tom's heart was full. He knew life was not easy for anyone, but with love and friendship, anything was possible. He was proud to be part of Emily's journey. The mall, once a place of loneliness for Emily, had become a place of friendship and hope. It was where strangers became family, where kindness changed lives, and where dreams grew again. Their story was a reminder to everyone, no matter what challenges life brings, the human heart can heal with love, understanding, and simple acts of caring. Emily's father watched the changes in his daughter with growing admiration. He realized that all the money in the world could not replace the warmth and happiness that genuine friendships brought. Emily's days were brighter now, filled with laughter and new experiences. Tom and Michael had become important parts of her life, not just visitors at the mall, but true friends and family. One afternoon, Emily's father invited Tom and Michael to the family home again, this time for a special dinner. The house was filled with soft lights and the smell of delicious food. Emily's father sat beside his daughter and smiled warmly at Tom and Michael. "I want you both to know how grateful I am," he said. "Emily has found joy again because of your friendship." Tom felt humble but proud. "I'm happy to be here," he said simply. After dinner, Emily's father shared a new idea. He wanted to start a program to help people with disabilities in the city. "Too many people face loneliness and struggle alone," he said. "I want to use what we have to create a place where they feel welcomed and supported." Emily's eyes brightened. "I would love to help with that," she said. "Maybe I can share my story to give others hope." Tom nodded. "I can help organize activities and find volunteers. Everyone deserves kindness." Together, they planned how to build this new center. Emily's father promised to fund it, but he knew it would take a team of caring people like Tom and Emily. To make it a true success, the next weeks were full of hard work and excitement. Emily, Tom, and Michael visited other centers to learn what worked best. Emily shared her own experiences with doctors, therapists, and other families. Tom used his natural ability to connect with people and organize events. Michael helped by bringing smiles and energy wherever he went. Emily's father visited often. He helped with the paperwork and shared his ideas. But more importantly, he was there to support Emily emotionally. He realized that being present for his daughter was the greatest gift he could give. As the center began to take shape, the community started to notice. People with disabilities and their families found a new place to gather, learn, and grow. The center offered classes, therapy sessions, social events, and a friendly environment. Emily was often there, sharing her story and encouraging others not to give up. Tom's role grew too, became a leader in the volunteer team. He organized fun activities for children and adults, making sure everyone felt included. His kindness touched many hearts. People began to see that true strength comes not from wealth, but from the love and care we give one another. Michael loved being part of the center. He made many friends and learned about helping others. He admired Emily's courage and often told his classmates about her. One day, Emily's father invited some important people from the city to visit the center. They saw how much good was being done and promised to support the work. It was clear that this project was more than just a building. It was a new hope for many. Emily's life was filled with purpose. She was no longer just a girl in a wheelchair, but a leader and a friend to many. Her friendship with Tom and Michael had opened doors she never imagined. Tom felt proud too. He had started as a janitor, but now he was part of something bigger. He showed that kindness and hard work could change lives, no matter who you are. Emily's father saw his daughter's smile grow wider every day. He learned that family is not just about blood or money, but about love, support, and shared moments. The mall where they first met was still special to Emily. It reminded her that sometimes the smallest act of kindness can change a life forever. But now, she had a whole community around her friends who cared. A family who loved, and a future full of promise. Their story inspired many. It showed that when people come together with open hearts, they can overcome any challenge. It taught that no matter how hard life gets, hope and friendship can light the way. Tom, Michael, and Emily's father had built more than a center. They had built a family, a community, and a new beginning. Emily's life had changed in ways she never imagined. From sitting alone and feeling invisible at the mall, She was now part of a community that cared deeply for her and for others like her. She found new joy in helping people and sharing her story. It was a journey of hope, healing, and new beginnings. Every morning, Emily woke up with a smile. She had a purpose to make life better not only for herself but for others who struggled. The center they had built was busy and full of life. People came to learn, to laugh, and to find friendship. Emily loved seeing the happy faces around her. Tom was still by her side, a steady friend and support. He had come a long way from being just a janitor. His hard work and kindness had opened doors for him and for his son Michael. Michael was growing up surrounded by love and examples of strength. He was proud of his mother and his friend Emily. Emily's father watched all of this with a heart full of gratitude. He realized that sometimes the most important lessons come from the people we least expect. He learned to listen more and to cherish the moments with his daughter. Money could buy many things, but it could never buy the happiness he saw in Emily's eyes now. One day, Emily was asked to speak at a city event about her journey. She stood in front of a crowd, her voice strong but kind. She told them about the accident, the pain, and the loneliness. But more importantly, she shared how friendship and love had brought her back to life. "I was lost," she said, "but someone cared enough to ask why I was alone. That question changed everything. It gave me hope, and with hope, I found strength." The audience listened quietly, some with tears in their eyes. Emily's story touched their hearts. They saw that no matter what challenges they faced, they were not alone. Tom was there too, standing proudly beside Emily. He spoke about the power of kindness and how small acts can make big changes. Michael waved to the crowd, happy and excited. Their story spread across the city. More people came to the center to volunteer and to find support. The community grew stronger and closer. Emily continued to dream. She wanted to travel again one day, to see the world and meet new friends. But she also knew that home was where the heart was, with Tom, Michael, her father, the friends they had made. The mall where it all began was still special, reminded Emily that sometimes life's biggest changes come from the simplest moments. A question, a smile, a small act of kindness. These can light the darkest paths, Emily. Tom, Michael, and Emily's father had shown the world that love and friendship are the true treasures of life. They had built something that money could never buy: a family, a community, and hope for the future. Their journey was proof that no matter how hard life may seem, the human spirit can heal and grow when touched by kindness. And sometimes the most unexpected people can change our lives forever.